Great show. Don't want to miss it. As for tonight's Lakers, Anthony Davis will not play. The Lakers are holding him out with a right calf injury. They've been careful with LeBron and AD in the first two games this season, both at 30 minutes per. The Lakers have 10 players averaging double-digit minutes so far with AD out. More minutes to go around for the rest, no question. All right, this may be something to watch all season, not just with the Lakers. For the latest, let's get you downtown. Lakers reporter Mike Trudell's in the building. Michael.
What's happening, Geeter? Hey, guys, nice to see you. You can actually see AD working out right behind me, just getting some shots up, moving around a little bit, and he looks pretty good on that calf. In fact, I'm going to ask Frank Vogel in a moment here about whether or not he's going to be available to play tomorrow night. So let's go ahead and hear from Frank Vogel first to get the AD update, and then talk a little bit about the game tonight against the Timberwolves.
Well, we hope that he'll be available tomorrow, but we have to see how he feels tomorrow with injuries where, it's kind of day-to-day thing, see how it responds to treatment. And, but we're hopeful that he'll play tomorrow.
Can you tell us who's going to start instead of Anthony?
Yeah, we're going to start Kyle Kuzma. He had a terrific preseason, and, is obviously a starter-level player that we're using in a six-man role. And, he's going to get the start tonight. I would anticipate if LeBron or Anthony misses, that Kyle would likely be the starter in those situations. Because he's a 3-4, and he can fill in either one of those spots. But again, we would take that case by case.
And Frank, we also just heard that Karl Anthony Towns isn't going to play for Minnesota. How does that impact this game, in addition to the fact that AD is going to be out?
Yeah, well, he's one of the best players in the league, so obviously it changes them dramatically. We got to make sure we don't let our guard down. We had a few instances last year where the opponent had key guys out. And, we didn't play to our abilities, and other guys on the other team were able to step up. And, I expect that from the Timberwolves tonight. They have good centers to fill in, and, they got five small horses, in terms of, Rubio, Russell, Beasley playing at a really high level for these guys, and then the two young guys, Culver and Edwards, that are just, playing terrific off to great start. So, you got to make sure we don't let our guard down, and make sure we play a great game.
Walk down the aisle. All right, guys, so you do have two #1 picks out in Cat and Anthony Davis, but there are still two other #1 overall picks. That's LeBron in 2003 and, of course, Anthony Edwards, the rookie from this season from 2020. So it'll be fun to see those guys take the court in a couple moments here.
All right, Mike, appreciate that, my friend. Hear from you later on. Listen, it's only 2 games, but a huge difference. I want to show you guys the numbers. It's with the defense. I mean, this was the calling card for the Lakers last year. They were the best defensive team in the league, especially in the playoffs. Defensive rating 3rd last year, 21st this year. Opponent's field goal percentage, look at that, 48%. That's 19th. The threes is 18th. And the blocks is the big one, Fish. I wanted you to see this first. Last year, 6.6 blocks per game, just under 7. That's first in the NBA. All the rim protection. This year, they only have 3 blocks per game. That's 27. How much are they missing it, Fish? How important is that stat?
No, the stat is important in terms of the rim protection. Of course, Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, guys that were really, elite at rim protection. But defense is really about connection and communication. And when you're bringing in as many new guys as the Lakers are, they're still working on that chemistry and connection and communication on the defensive end. JaVale and Dwight erased a lot of mistakes at the rim. This team is still figuring out how to do that. And I believe they will. But when you're the defending champion in a short offseason, there's a sense of urgency and engagement that elite defense requires. This team doesn't have that yet. It's still a little early in the season for them to feel like every possession they have to get a stop. That is something that will develop over time.
It'll be a different type of defense. When you lose 2 key shot blockers, it may make them a better defensive team collectively. They don't have that, that support on the back line like they did. Gasol is a good defensive player when it comes to positioning, and he probably knows the vertical rule and things like that. But so I expect that over time, Montrez, guys like Schroeder, Wes Matthews, Kuz is really starting to play. Caruso still remarkable. I think they'll become a better perimeter team and not allow teams to break them down and get to the rim. So It might, like Fish said, it'll take some time. But I think with the additions they've made, they might be even better defensively.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. But they have a number of guys in that double-digit rotation, minutes per game, that are new guys. Wes Matthews, Dennis Schroeder, Marc Gasol, Montrezl Harrell. Learning how to communicate. Yeah. Are you switching or not? Those things are really important to great defense.
Big game moments ago when Trudell was talking, you saw AD getting some work in. You saw the sleeve on the calf. A surprising stat because he's been remarkable, but he doesn't have a block yet this season through 2 games.
Yeah, it's early.
Yeah.
And he probably has altered a few and probably changed a few guys' mind as far as coming and trying to challenge him. So I'm not worried about him. He's proven that he has good timing from the weak side, a good on-the-ball shot blocker. So he is the one that's left. We lost 2 others, but I'm not worried about AD. He'll come around.
Always a good sign, though. Getting out there, get some shots up.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Great to see AD out there. This is a good sign that he might play tomorrow night, but for sure when they get out on that road trip, he'll be out there. But AD having 0 blocks through 2 games tells you all you need to know about why it's early.
Early. All you need to know. All right, we're getting closer to tip-off. Former Laker D'Angelo Russell and the T-Wolves are 2-0 to start the season. D'Lo averaging a little over 21 points per game. He scored 25 in last night's win in Utah. Coming up on Access, he's announced his arrival in the loud shoot-around. That AD's right calf contusion did not improve enough to the point where they were comfortable playing him tonight, the first game of a back-to-back. AD originally suffered the injury on opening night. He played Friday, but was listed as questionable on the injury report.
We just want to be responsible with it. We want to keep an eye on it. He injured it in the Clipper game. He re-aggravated it in the third quarter of the Dallas game. And, going into the back-to-back, we want to take advantage of our depth and be intelligent with his injury.
So this is the first back-to-back of the year, especially in this first month. I mean, obviously Anthony's out tonight with the calf. Are you imagining maybe staggering and sort of having AD sit one night and then LeBron sit the other, or are you pursuing these back-to-backs like normal games and just seeing how guys feel?
Yeah, we're going to approach each one throughout the whole year on a case-by-case basis, and with the expectation that our guys will play both games unless there's a reason otherwise. And in this case, there's a reason otherwise with Anthony's calf, and we'll like I said, we'll just continue to evaluate that throughout the year.
All right, AD has been sharp this season in just over 30 minutes per game. He's been super efficient, 58% overall. How about 43% from 3? By the way, Karl Anthony Towns also out, but let's focus on AD. Any concerns, Big Game and Bish?
No, I don't. I don't think it's a serious injury. You don't want to take any chances. It's early in the season. Give him some rest. I think this, to me, kind of describes what load management is. A guy that's had a mild injury. No need to kind of rush him back. That could have been worse, as you see him take the fall right there. So I'm not overly concerned. I don't think it's any torn tissues or anything. So it's something that a little rehab and rest hopefully should take care of.
Yeah, I mean, not major concern, but calf injuries are similar to hamstring injury, groin injury, where if you do sustain a calf injury and you re-aggravate it, that can start to linger a little bit. And so I do believe this is the right decision tonight. But also, I think it does give us some indication that if this is an injury that is bothering Anthony Davis from opening night, that they're going to make sure over the next month or two they keep an eye on how he's doing. And so I think he'll be fine, like James said. But it isn't a different type of injury than an ankle sprain or a dislocated finger, something that you can just throw some tape on and keep it moving. I think you do have to proceed cautiously here.
If there was ever a year to proceed with caution,